And many students in Gaza are trying to leave so that they can take up places at universities abroad. Britain is preparing to evacuate 9 young people who are hoping to study in the UK. And student unions there are urging the government to do more to help. DW's Tanya Kramer reports.
2 young Palestinians from Gaza. Farah Ruka, wearing red, is a literature graduate. Malak El-Swirki, in black, wants to study. This should be Malak's ticket to a future full of opportunity, a Cambridge University scholarship to study history and political science. She's one of dozens of young Gazans with such offers, but they are stuck. They need to coordinate their exit with the Israeli authorities and get visas for their host countries.
I need a visa so I can be evacuated from Gaza, but there is currently no UK embassy center operating on the Strip. And I can't travel to neighboring countries like Egypt or Jordan to apply for one. The British government is trying to find a solution, and we hope for the best. But I worry I might lose my scholarship. The university said if I do not attend in October, my scholarship may not be deferred and I may lose it.
The idea of studying abroad must feel like a lifeline that is being stretched thin. Life under constant bombardment in Gaza is exhausting, and getting enough to eat is a daily battle.
I'm tired of the bombing and the buzzing drones. I'm tired of the torture of moving over and over and being displaced. I'm tired of the lack of food and that each person in my family only gets 3 pieces of bread a day. I am a human being who has dreams of living like everyone else, but the surrounding circumstances do not help me reach them.
Young Gazans like Farah can see how the level of destruction Israel has created will continue to damage their society long after the bombing stops.
Any hope of a future in Gaza is gone. There is destruction and rubble. There's a lack of basic needs, water, electricity, food, and education, even online. There's no internet access, no job opportunities. For young people, life is at a standstill. It is clear there's no hope or future in Gaza. Even if the war stops, it will take many years before we can bring Gaza back to how it was. And this will take many years of our lives.
Since the war began, Malak has spent much of her energy surviving rather than studying.
The internet was cut off, and I was cut off from my education. I wanted to learn English and French 24 hours a day, but there were no resources.
She says the worst experience was in December 2023, when she and her parents were displaced within Gaza City. As they looked for shelter, shots were fired and an Israeli tank approached.
That day, my father and mother were wounded. My mother fled, but my father lay on the ground with an injured leg. The tank was getting closer and closer, and it looked like it was going to run him over. At one point, I was ready to leave behind everything in my life, sacrifice everything. I dragged him away from the tank and brought him inside.
Even when the threat is not immediate, life in the ruins of Gaza throws a shadow into the future.
Living abroad would be so much better. Even if the war stops, Gaza will need a long time for reconstruction. Living in tents is a story in itself. It's hot as hell, and there's no privacy, no basic amenities. There are usually 5 to 8 people per tent. If you want to study, relax, or spend time on social media, everyone is on top of one another. There's no normal life or comfort.
We have gone through so much. We are going through the worst forms of social collapse, structural and moral collapse of buildings and everything. We have lost many qualified people, and we hope to study so that we can return and replace the qualified people that the country has lost.
When the time comes to rebuild, Gaza will need people like these young women.
And Malak, whom you saw in that report, is among many Gazan students with scholarship offers to study in the UK, but no way of leaving Gaza. So UK student unions have issued an open letter urging their government to help these students obtain visas and help with leaving Gaza safely so they can begin their studies. Ash Scholz is president of the Edinburgh University Students Association, and they join me now. Ash, you're one of the signatories to this open letter that claims students can't leave Gaza due to, quote, a legal technicality. Can you tell us more about this problem and what you expect the UK government to do about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me be here. So basically we, as students' associations and student unions across the UK, we want students who have gotten scholarship offers to come to the UK to take up their scholarships and their programs. The problem is that there are biometric requirements that the students have to fulfill, as you were seeing in the video as well. But the problem is that these the ways for Gazan students to get these requirements done is impossible. That would require them traveling to Jordan or Egypt, for example. So we are calling in our open letter for the UK government as an option to waive the biometric requirements. This has happened in other countries as well, like Italy, Ireland, or France. And so we are calling for the UK to do the same.
So if other countries have been able to work around the problem and waive these requirements, why is the UK making it so much more complicated?
I'm unsure. I think that there's a there's a lot of kind of, I guess, talks about the UK, I guess in their requirements are sometimes a bit more strict than other countries. But the issue is that there have been obviously, like, our director, for example, from the University of Edinburgh has been lobbying MPs and MSPs, even David Lammy, to our students to be allowed to go to Egypt or Jordan to do their biometric data, which would have been a workaround. However, on the ground, that's not possible. So our option that we are offering is waiving these requirements, which from our perspective is the way to go. And so we are pushing for that to happen so that students are able to travel to the UK before the semester starts.
I mean, the UK government is doing something because it has now decided to evacuate, I think, 9 students from Gaza. But these are students who had the Schevening scholarship. There are other students in Gaza who have received other scholarships that aren't Schevening scholarships. So if this can be done with Schevening scholars, could this not be extended to others who have received scholarships from UK universities?
Yes, that would be the hope. For example, we have 2 scholarship holders in our university that have a scholarship from our university to come. And so that's why we are lobbying the UK government for that to be extended to people who hold scholarships out with the Schevening scholarship in universities within the UK, from Cambridge all the way to Edinburgh, for that to happen, yes.
We'll leave it there for the time being. Ash Scholz, president of the Edinburgh University Students Association, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.